It's Saturday. It's not Friday. It's Saturday. It's October the 23rd. It should be Friday, October the 22nd, but I didn't make it. And this is the reason why I didn't make it. This little boy had to go to the vet. He's had a problem, and when he has a problem, I have a problem. So he had to go to the vet. He seems to be getting better, which is good. Um, that Friday was really a follow-up visit, kinda. The vet changed his medicine, and well, we really don't know what's going on. Something in his mouth, but we'll have to figure it out. But you know how it goes. Sometimes the little four-legged babies that we have are very important. So miss the video, and I actually have quite a bit to tell y'all about today, which should have been yesterday. All right, let's get over it. So number one is we have boosters, all of them. Everything's been approved now. Of course, Pfizer was approved a couple of weeks ago, but as of Friday, Johnson and Johnson and Moderna, all of that has been approved. There are some recommendations. If you actually did have a Johnson and Johnson, your follow-up can be Moderna or Pfizer. If you had Moderna, your follow-up can be. So in other words, you can mix and match. So we're now going to be doing boosters. Okay. Oh, and by the way, we're also going to continue our schedule for our Mobies. So that Friday schedule where they come around and have different locations and different sites so that anybody interested in getting the vaccination will have an opportunity without having to go to another location or what have you. That schedule is continuing for a few more weeks. Don't forget, um, the flu vaccination is still an annual health requirement. You have until the end of December, December 31st, same date. And the wellness nurses have been doing some go arounds. Flu vaccinations are also in the offices for that matter. They're also on the Mobies. So just make sure to take advantage when you can. We decided to make it all the way to the end of December because just like most vaccinations, the flu vaccination does wane. So sometimes the flu cases don't really ramp up in South Carolina until around March or so. So we wanted to give folks a good timeline to be able to be fully immunized with the flu. A welcome. We have a new nurse practitioner, Gilberto Sanchez, in Bennettsville. He's been going around. Some of y'all he's probably already met. He's very excited. He's a native of Bennettsville, and that's where he's going to be practicing. So we're really, really excited about that. It's been National Hispanic Month, and Gilberto was one of the ones that celebrated with us. We did a Facebook Live blog with that. We've got a very cool cadre of staff that have Hispanic heritage in their backgrounds. So we were celebrating that along with our staff who were celebrating it quite a bit. We've got a pretty big anniversary coming up. I don't know if I call it an anniversary per se, but I was on one of the local Department of Health calls, and this is a call that used to occur every week. Now it's backed off, it's every other week. But the hospitals from all the PD, most of them participate. McLeod, MUSC are very diligent about participating. Tidelands, you may not be familiar with that hospital. That is a big hospital over there in Georgetown and in the South Beach area. They have a huge population, and they have been one of the largest entities providing vaccinations during this whole pandemic. They announced that they were going to be celebrating 90,000 vaccinations, which was coming up pretty quick. And I thought to myself, wow, that's a pretty big hospital that's celebrating 90,000. We are getting close to 30,000, and we're not near as big as Thailand. So I said, why not celebrate at Care South? Right now, we're at 28. Well, not right now, but as of last Friday, we were at 28,895. Only 1,105 vaccinations from meeting a 30,000 goal. So, I really like celebrations. So when we hit that 30,000 mark of vaccinations, and boosters are going to count just like everything else, we're going to have a celebration. I don't know what it's going to be. Uh, you're getting news first. The marketing and PR department are going, say, what did she say? So you're getting the news right along with them, but we're going to do something. We got to plan something. So 30,000, here we come. And it won't take that long, especially with boosters going out. So I'm looking forward to it. Other good news, we were nominated, we haven't won the award yet, but we were nominated by the Carolina Center for Medical Excellence. This is an organization that really is prominent throughout North and South Carolina, promoting quality performance and so forth. We were nominated for their Innovator of the Year award around having our Mobies. They felt like that was a very cool innovation, getting mobile services, first testing and then vaccinations, now pivoting to flu, out into the local community. And indeed, that has gotten national attention even. I think I have mentioned this before, but the Bureau of Primary Health Care, our funder, actually highlighted our Mobies as being an innovation amongst all the FQHCs in the nation. So that's a pretty cool thing. Um, in other news, we now own the land in Sherrall where the new building will be. We closed on that property. We gave them the money, and it is now deeded to Care South Carolina Lock, Stock, and Barrel. We have received the grant, but there are a lot of conditions on that grant that we have to do beforehand. Our our engineers and our construction folks, Precision Construction Incorporated (PCI), who's constructed for us in McCall, Chesterfield, and Dillon, knows us pretty darn good. We've got several things to do before we'll actually be able to get down to the nitty gritty over there in Sherrod, but it's happening, and it's going to happen hopefully even quicker. It's not our first time at the rodeo, but it's been a long time since we've had a big federal grant for construction. So, as with anything federal, there's going to be a few hoops to jump through, but things are on the way. Uh, Speaking of grants, just this week, as a matter of fact, just in the last couple of days, we were awarded an FCC grant. That's the Federal Communications Commission's FCC. They handle telehealth and radio, broadband, all that kind of stuff. Well, we applied back in 2020 for a grant to help us address patients that have needs around telehealth or home monitoring, things like that. We finally got the grant. There's been several rounds before us, but we finally got this grant. I can't tell you exactly what we're going to be using it for because we are going back to the drawing board. It's been over a year since we made that application, and we're going to see whether our needs are still as they are when we applied or whether we can rebudget or whether we have different needs as this pandemic has progressed. But this is definitely going to make a difference in being able to provide services to patients that are very important when you're at home or not being able to travel or need telehealth or other things. So that was good news. We were also accepted into a pretty innovative Harvard project. It's they're calling it the Harvard Sprint, and only one out of 20 organizations. I mean, we are one out of 20 organizations across the nation that were actually awarded participation in this, and it's a sprint to really target vaccinations in a community that has a very high need. And Marlboro County is that in our particular area. Marlboro County is a very low vaccination rate and even lower vaccination rate for men. So we're going to be doing some very, very targeted things to address the need in Marlboro County. We really appreciate being selected for this um, very honored position in the Harvard Sprint. Um, To sum up, though, I do want to leave y'all in conversation about our buildings. Dillon is progressing quite nicely. If you're through that area, you can actually begin to see what it looks like. It's going to be bigger than Chesterfield, but not as big as McCall, because remember, Dillon building will also have the Department of Health in there providing WIC services while we continue providing the Title X services such as family planning along with immunizations. We'll be taking that part of the normal DHEP business um, under our wing, so to speak. So it's a little bit different setup. We're still thinking that the early spring 2020 is a good date for that. We'll be moving forward on that. That building's beginning to look pretty darn good now. Also, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but don't forget we have St. David's. We own that building in Society Hill. That building is going to be used 100% for administrative services. We've got to get ourselves out of some of these little local buildings we've got scattered all over the place and get ourselves into some uh, one or two minimal locations. So that's going to be renovated. We did get a USDA grant approved for that. It's a grant loan combination, pretty much. And we're working to satisfy those conditions. You know, anytime you use this money, there's going to be conditions attached to it. So we're working to get those conditions met so that we can actually begin that renovation there pretty soon. And hopefully be looking at a 2022 date also. So, in the world of construction and all that, a lot going on at Care South. So, you probably won't be looking at this until Monday or so. So, my saying have a nice weekend is kind of comical since it already is the weekend. But stay safe for those of you who do view it, and for those that you who will be looking at it on Monday. Let's make the week a very, very good one. Our monoclonal antibody infusion work continues to look well and to be stable. So, in cases where we have patients, employees, or staff that have had the misfortune to contract COVID, we are able to do something about it with the monoclonal infusion. So things are looking a little bit more stable. But last reminder, the coronavirus is not gone. It's winding down, and we're learning a lot more how to control it and what to do about it. But we do fear a surge. Great Britain, unfortunately, kind of went through the same thing. They had a big surge from Delta. Then things kind of calmed down. Everything started decreasing, the cases, the hospitalizations, the death, and everybody got too relaxed. And darn if they didn't have another surge. So we don't want to follow in those steps. But behavior in the United States and especially in South Carolina has not been all that admirable. Relaxing masking, relaxing gatherings together without proper precautions. So let's really try not to make that happen. Stay safe, be careful, and remember there's still a virus out there, and there is still a high transmission rate in all the counties that in South Carolina, frankly, except for just a couple, not even in our vicinity. You all take care. Bye bye.